G'day everyone, I'm out here at the Winton Wetlands. This used to be Lake Mokoan, and I am standing on the spit, what is now known as the spit, but used to be known as the island. There was two islands, Green's Island up the other end of the lake, and this was the main island. This was the popular fishing island because it was smaller and had steep sides. Now it's not an island, it's an island in the wetlands. There's not even any water in the wetlands. Well, there doesn't appear to be much water, but there's a lot of water running in to the wetlands at the moment. And in this grass and stuff down here, I can actually see water in amongst the grass. So there is actually a lot of water laying around there that we can't see because the grass is too high. That, combined with the inflows and the potential to get more rain in the winter and spring months and good runoff, could see the wetlands fill right up this year. Now, we don't have the yellowbelly fishing that we used to have, but we do still have fishing opportunities over here in the wetlands, in the Winton Wetlands. Don't get me wrong, I am still a little bit down in the dumps at the fact that they took Lake Mokoan off us as a fishery. I enjoyed Lake Mokoan. I come over here with my father, my grandparents, and even my eldest daughter when she was a little baby, and we caught yellowbelly off the bank. So I'm every bit as down in the dumps as everybody else. But we can't focus on the negatives. What's gone is gone, and there are positives and there are fishing options here. There's yabbying. There's quite a lot of dams and lagoons in the wetlands that hold water all year round. A large part of the wetlands used to be farmland in an area called Winton North before Lake Mokoan was built. Those farms had dams. Those dams are still there. So when the wetlands go down, the water stays in them dams, and those dams have yabbies in them. And we are allowed to go yabbying in them dams, subject to the standard rules and regulations, licensing and etc. So there's one option. The best option, and it's not a permanent option, but on a wet year it's an option, if this wetland and this great big swampy area here fills up with water, it will overflow. Down there is the wall, the old wall, the retaining wall, which held the water back for Lake Mokoan. When they decommissioned the lake in 2009, I think it was, or something like that, they actually dug a big hole in the wall like a V, so it's not possible to fill up. So now when the wetlands fills to what used to be around about 4 or 5% of Lake Mokoan capacity or something like that, when this fills, it overflows over that hole that they dug and flows down into the channel, which used to be the Lake Mokoan outlet channel. I believe it's now called Stockman Creek or something similar. When the water is flowing down that channel, it is just a haven for yellowbelly. The Broken River system is stocked with thousands and thousands of yellowbelly each year. And at Gowangardy Weir and Casey's Weir, there are fish ladders for the yellowbelly to swim up during the high water flows. When we get a lot of rain and this fills, just look at all that land. You probably can't see this, but that land goes around there as far as the eye can see. That is enormous. We can only imagine how many little invertebrates and stuff there are out there. When it fills up with water, all those invertebrates, worms, snails, frogs, the whole lot end up in the system. And then when this is full of water, with all this grass underneath, it makes ideal breeding grounds for dragonflies, which produce mud-eye larvae, and all fish eat mud-eyes. Everybody knows that trout like mud-eyes. I remember gutting a yellowbelly from the outlet channel down here a few years ago, the last time this filled up, which was in 2011, and it had something like 9 or 10 mud-eyes, a frog and a little carp inside its stomach, because all this just fills up with mud-eyes and all the other stuff that's already there, as I mentioned, and they wash down into that channel. The fish, they come up from the Goulburn, the lower reaches of the Broken, they swim through the fish ladders, then they just come straight up that channel and they go as far as they can, which is just below the wall here at the Winton Wetlands, and they just back right up. One afternoon there back in, I think it was December 2010, I caught something like 30 yellowbelly in about an hour and a half fishing. They were just going nuts. So, at the moment, there's no fishing in the Winton Wetlands. There are dams to go yabbying in, but if this fills up later in the year, grab your rods, grab your lures, and head for the outlet channel, the Winton Wetlands, or formerly the Lake Mokoan outlet channel, because if this is overflowing, and just as the weather's warming up, those yellowbelly will just come from nowhere. It's just an incredible thing to see.